Hello, today we will be covering payroll and the possible payroll interceptions you may incur on payroll. We have shared a taxpayer audit file with you guys that basically sums up each week how we audit your files and what's incomplete in your office. Inside of the same file, we will build out payroll each week on the breakdown paid to your office. The first file that we're in, the first tab that we're in is the payroll breakdown example. I want to warn you guys, this is just an example and this will not be updated weekly for your payroll. This is just an example so we can cover the descriptions and come to this file once if you have an issue to get clarification. Again, this is just an example file. So if you see numbers in here and it's not correct, like I said, it's because of it's an example file. For this payroll breakdown example, I do want to cover the descriptions for the topics or categories that's in this payroll file, that you're more aware of what these topics are in the descriptions on them. So let's start at the top and move down with each category. So starting at the top, the total prep fee charge are your fees that you charge your taxpayer for each return. Next is your fees intercepted, which are advanced loan fees for taxpayer loans for each client. Refund Advantage will charge you, the tax preparer, a fee for every approved advance that you have given out this tax season to your clients. $79 for preseason advances prior to January 28th and $45 for every in-season advance after January 28th. These fees will be deducted from your prep fee automatically by Refund Advantage before it even gets to our account. We will have a report that helps you keep up with this inside the same file. It's actually the next tab called Taxpayer Loan Status. We'll go over this tab once we complete the description tab. Next, you'll see the total prep deposited. That'll be the actual fees that were deposited in our business account after your interceptions. So this is after the bank has taken their necessary fees for the marketing fees associated with those advances. This is the total prep fee deposited. This is the first number that we start with for every payroll that we do for you guys. This is the first number that we start with, total prep fee deposited, because this is the amount that's deposited in our account. If a taxpayer had their refund taken by the IRS, it will not be deposited in our account. So it will not be listed here. So please take into account for those clients that have issues with their refund getting taken for any reason. We go off of total prep fee deposit in our account. We can't pay you for something that we have not got paid for initially as well. Next is your remaining balance. Be mindful of the remaining balance you have from your partnership package. We will deduct it from your first payroll or until it is paid in full. This is only for the offices that still have a remaining balance from the purchase of your package. We will have it on your payroll spreadsheet each week once it gets updated. Next is your non-bank product. Calculate your non-bank product clients you have done, if you have done any at all. There's a $25 for each one after a few of the non-bank products processed for your office. This will be deducted from your payroll. Again, this is only for offices using non-bank products such as e-filing and not using a bank product for that return. You will have a prior week and a current week. This just is referring to if something was remaining from last week, they came over to this week. So prior and current just means the week is associated with. So come down next to your sum total prep. Your sum is basically, it equals your taxpayer prep fee deposited minus your remaining balance minus your non-bank product. This is the sum before we want to sum it up before we basically take that split that's associated with your partnership package. so that you can see a clean cut of what we're multiplying before we calculate that end. So you have the sum total prep fee, and the next thing we'll take is your split, which is either 90, 80, 70, or 60. Please be aware of what you signed up with and what your contract entails. After we do your sum times your split, we'll give you your sum total payout. If there's anything remaining that you could not pay out this week from your remaining balance in your non-bank product, it will be listed in this section on a remaining balance or non-bank product balance carry over to the next payroll. Next, you'll see the hold section. Anything that was held for either prior week or current week, it will be listed here. Next, you'll see the amount paid to your office. These are the fees that actually were paid out to your office and a reflection of what you actually got deposited or paid for that payroll. Again, these are the description of possible payroll interceptions that you might incur on your payroll. This is a view of, like I said, an example. I want to move on to the next few tabs that will explain a little more further details into payroll. So let's move on to the taxpayer loan status report. So here, we've ran a report for you guys for each office that will basically break down the details of your taxpayer loans that you processed this year for your office. It will tell you the advance amount and your marketing fee associated with that loan for that taxpayer. Now, one thing I have noticed is they are not taking it out based upon what you're getting paid out. So if you see the fees intercepted, it might not directly associate with that taxpayer from the week that you're getting paid out. So just know that the bank is just going to take their money back how they see fit. So it doesn't necessarily associate it with that same person that you're getting paid out that week. So just keep that in mind. You need to just keep in mind that you have a total of, like, for example, this office has a total of $853 worth of marketing fees. The bank will choose how they take it out based upon your payroll deposits to us. They take it out at their convenience and how they do it normally. Sometimes I see it, they're taking half out. Sometimes they're taking just one out. So it's just up into their discrepancy and how they're taking out that money. So this loan status report is just a good resource for you guys to see how many loans you've processed and what to expect for marketing fees for your office. So it's located right in the same file. Moving right along, I want to show you a few examples of some common scenarios that I see during payroll, and basically different interceptions and different scenarios that will put you in a different mind frame of what could happen or what to see or look for when it does. So let's move on to the first example. So this office has a total prep fee charge of $625. They have a fee interception of $312.50, which left a deposited amount of $312.50. They have a remaining balance of $250. $250, which left them a sum of $62.50. $62.50 will then take your split, which is 80%, and that will basically give you a subtotal payout of $50. You have a payout amount of $50. It looks like this office is on a hold. A couple of reasons you could be on hold is your direct deposit, for one, is not confirmed. We can't make a deposit on a bank account that we have not confirmed that test deposit in. So please, if you do have no on here, please confirm your test deposit. Everyone should have at least gotten 1, 2, or 3 deposits. So please be aware and check that, and please update us when you do receive those test deposits. Also, this office file status current week is 11/39. 11 represents your incompletes, and 39 represents the total accepted for that payroll. So we like this for our offices to say in 95 percentile of incomplete files. This office has 11 over 39, so it is well below the 95% percentile. So this current week's payroll is on hold. You will see basically the final decision on the total office total payout. Yes or no is 0. So that means that office was not paid out for that current week. Let's move on to the next example. So for this example, this office has a total of $345.38 charged for their tax prep fee. They have an intercepted fee of $197.69, which summed up a deposit of $197.69 that we received in our account. This office has a remaining balance of $250 this week, which basically they only got paid $197.69, which means they have still a remaining balance before they can get paid out. So that current remaining balance is $52.31. So this balance will roll over to the next payroll, and until this balance is paid out, then we will release your payroll once this partnership remaining balance is paid incomplete. So their office payout is $0. They have confirmed their bank account, and their current week file audit status is 2 over 150. So they're in that 95 percentile, and they would have gotten paid if they probably would not had a remaining balance. Okay, let's look at the last example I have here. This office prep fee charge was $450. They had an intercepted fee of $90, which brought the deposited fee down to $360. So the sum, it looks like they have no remaining balance, no non-bank product balance. So basically their sum total prep fee is $360. So we're then able to take their split, which is 90%, which the total prep fee times your split will give you $324. That'll give you that subtotal payout amount. So let's go over. Looks like that client had a payout of $324 that week. They had a prior week hold of $421.20. They confirmed their bank account. They have 4 out of 54 files incomplete. So that looks like they're in that 95 percentile. And so it looks like they got paid out. They got paid out a total of $745.20 this week. So this office received a payout and everything's good to go. They have no remaining balance or non-bank product balance to carry over. Let's say, for example, this client did have a non-bank product amount, and we needed to bill for them. We will put $150 here, and then we'll tell you how many you processed this week. So that means you processed 6. So if you did have that $150, let's take that 360 from 150. So that sum will be 210. So after your split, if you do 210 times your 90 split, it gives you 189. So that difference will just be 189 across the board. I just wanted you guys to see if a non-bank product was processed in your office, how it will look. It will be under here. So basically it's $25 per client for that non-bank product processing. And we will list the total amount here on the non-bank product total. Now, I want to go back to the payroll breakdown example and show you an example within that, looking at it vertical versus horizontal. And this is just giving you another example of it getting broke down in that way. Let's go back to the payroll breakdown example real quick. So let's start here. Let's say one of the examples that we use, the total prep fee was $625. The intercepted fee was $312.50. So that means the total prep fee deposit was $312.50. They had a remaining balance of $250. So that left them with a sum prep fee of $62.50. Now their split is 80%, 80%. So their payout is $50. So this is just another way, if you guys have discrepancies, we'll probably give you guys the opportunity to come here, go to your file. While we basically are in the same file, we can work through any type of issues that you might have with payroll. It might be confusing for the first couple of times, but there's nothing that we can't figure out or, inform you guys on how to calculate it properly. But we provided you guys enough tools so you guys can see what's going on payroll, what you should be looking for, and basically each person that you're paid out. I want you guys to understand you need to upload your files, documents daily so you do not fall behind. We will hold pay for any missing, incomplete, or ineligible files we are not able to read. Again, we will only hold it until next payroll. If the proper docs are uploaded, we release upon the next payroll. Another thing, please confirm your 1 cent deposit that we have deposited in everyone's account by now. We will not be able to pay you without confirmation that we have on the correct checking and routing number. Payroll is every Friday with a week in arrear, meaning it's held back 1 week. So all prep fees that release this week will be paid out next week for payroll. So anything that was released, funded from the IRS this week will pay for next week on payroll. Also, please, guys, know your package, your contract. You have whether you have an 80/20, 70/30, 60/40. Check your check stock and ensure that you have enough checks on hand. Let us know if you need to order any more. Lastly, know how much you charge your client in prep fees. You can do this by checking the client status. Every year we have a partner or two, they forget how much they've charged a client or mistakenly put the wrong amount. If this happens, you will have to collect it from your client directly. I want to mentioned that the next couple of weeks will be very huge for the IRS funding. So please understand the payroll breakdown. I've done this video so you guys can have a better example of payroll and what to expect when that payroll does hit. Normally this file is available Wednesday or Thursday of that payroll week. So please just understand how to calculate your payroll, what fees and possible payroll interceptions that may occur. And I want you guys to have a clear understanding on how payroll works here at Keystone. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and thanks and have a great day.